Hi, welcome to Holistic Mojo. I'm Sahara Lee, and this is your October Spirit Mojo. So, we are at the end of October, and we are quickly approaching Halloween, All Saints Day, All Hallows Eve, Day of the Dead, all of those things. So, I wanted to touch on the spirit aspect of our ancestors and how we can connect with our ancestors to get their input, their help, and also maybe to kind of kick them out of our lives sometimes because they can actually start to take over. So, um, what do I mean by they can start to take over? So, I have a guide that is a Native American, and he often shows up during healing sessions when I am the one receiving the healing. And more often than not, I have there's like an awkward silence with the person that I'm working with, and they go, so there was a very large Native American man who is just not real happy with me right now. So in that moment, I recognize that he is holding space and he is making sure that nobody is coming into my space, which is great in many ways. But when I'm in the middle of receiving a healing and working through some of my own stuff, maybe not the best time for him to show up. So I have to connect to him and be like, all right, homie, I need you to sit down for a moment and let me work this out. Same thing can happen with ancestors. So for a long time, I was seeing some similarities between my life and my grandmother's life, um, and I just kind of felt, why is this similarity here? Why is this issue that I'm seeing come up over and over and over? Um, why is this happening? And why am I not able to fix this? Why am I not able to heal this pattern? And I really recognized that my grandmother's energy was coming in and she was trying to protect me. But in that protection, she's working from a paradigm that is, this is her experience, and this was her experience, almost 100 years ago at this point. So um, we don't live in the same reality. So I have to go in and say, okay, thank you so much for your guidance and thank you so much for your protection. But I don't need to be protected in the same way that you were protected, because this is, the present moment for me. This is 2020. This is where I live. This is how I'm choosing to live my life. I don't have to have the same experience as you did, because the world is a very different place. Hopefully. We'll see what happens with the government in the US. So, um, a lot of times we need to kind of go in and tell these people, like, I really appreciate your help, but I don't necessarily need it. Or we need to call in their help. So how might you know that an ancestor is interfering, or a guide is interfering in maybe a way that is negative? Kind of like how I explained with my grandmother's energy. There's a thing that you're trying to heal, or a pattern you're trying to change, and no matter how much you work on it, it just kind of seems like it never really comes to fruition, that healing. And you're like, I know that I'm doing all the right things, so what's going on? And oftentimes when I'm working with clients, I'll go in and it's like, oops, yeah, this is your grandmother's energy, or this is a belief system that is coming from an ancestor that is affecting you right now. So let's go ahead and clear that stuff out. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do a little bit of that on your own. So you want to just find a comfortable place to sit. Close your eyes, and you're going to connect with your own energy in the center of your heart. And I have you connect with your heart always, because this is a place that no one else's energy can live. So you're not going to have ancestor energy here. You're not going to have guide energy here. You're not going to have like negative energy entities, anything like that. Like none of that can live inside of your heart. So we always connect with our heart first, because that's where our purest information is. And that is where you're going to find your true voice, void of everybody else. And I'm just going to send my energy from my heart, reach it all the way down through my body, through my legs, into the floor, all the way down through all the layers of the earth. I'm going to connect it into the center of the earth, that molten core. And then I'm going to draw my energy back up. And with it, I'm going to bring earth energy. And that's going to come all the way back up through the layers, and it's going to come back into my body, and I'm going to bring it all the way up and into all of my cells. And I'm just imagining this. That's really what you want to be doing. Just kind of picturing it. And then I'm going to let it spill out into my aura, which is kind of like this egg-like field around you. I'm going to stay connected to that heart energy, and I'm just going to bring my consciousness, my awareness up and out through the crown of my head. So it's like I'm in a little bubble over my head. And when I say bring my consciousness, my awareness up there, what I mean is like imagine that you're seeing the world from this bubble. So there's a piece of you like floating out in a bubble up there. And then I'm going to take that bubble and just shoot it straight up through the ceiling, through all the apartments above me, out through the roof, up and up and up. And I'm looking down at the town that I live in as I go up. And I'm going to go all the way up and outside of the atmosphere of the earth and through space. And I just keep moving away from the earth through the light and the dark and the light and the dark. And then I'm going to come into this weird jello-like substance that is just rainbow colored. And I'm going to pick out the pink color. This is the color of compassion. And I'm going to move through this pink substance and then imagine myself coming out into a room. And in that room, there is a door or a window, an opening of some sort. And I'm either going to open it if it's not open, or I'm going to walk through that opening into a white space, just vast. Kind of think of the Matrix when they end up in between programs and they're just in that white space. So you're just in this white space, it's kind of iridescent, and you don't have a physical body anymore. You are just consciousness. So if you look down and around, there's no body. So this is seventh plane. This is creator's energy. And we're just going to take a moment to enjoy this space. And then I'm just going to ask for, if I'm talking to a guide or an ancestor, I'm just going to ask their energy to show up. And we always ask, we don't really demand their energy because they do have free will as well. And they pretty much almost always come anyways because they want to talk to you. So if you're looking to connect with a guide to ask for assistance, or an ancestor to ask for assistance, or if you want them just to chill out a little bit, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come here, call in their energy, and just let it show up however it needs to. And then you just get to have a conversation with them. So if there is something that they're interfering in, or you feel that they're interfering, you can ask. You can ask what their experience is, because oftentimes they really want to tell you what's going on because they're worried, they're concerned, they're being protective. So you can ask that question, and then you can let them know your viewpoint. Like, hey, I appreciate your help, but this is where I'm coming from. This is what I'm doing, and I need you to back off a little bit. I need you to let me live my life. I hear you. I know your experiences. Your DNA is in me. Therefore, I know your experiences. And I don't have to relive those experiences. I can choose to do things in a different way. Thank you for your knowledge. But I just need you to chill out for a second. You can do this with both guides and ancestors. And then you just thank them for their help and their love. And you can energetically disconnect here if you'd like. So you can kind of imagine a cord of some sort, or something sticky going between you. You can ask, say, hey, creator, can you show me whatever cords are here? And then in the highest and best way, please cut these cords, finish this contract. And that's just going to help clear things out a little bit more. It's not going to kick them out of your life. You're still going to be able to access them, but it's just kind of a realigning you and their energies. So that would be how you would ask someone to chill out. And you can do this with people who are actually like alive. So if you're having a really hard time with a coworker or a family member or partner, anything like that, you can do the same exact thing. Come up into seventh plane space, call in their energy and be like, hey man, what do we need to do to work this out? So you can do this with people that are in this, this fourth plane reality as well. And if you want to ask for help, you do the same thing. Help from a guide, help from an ancestor. Hey, call in their energy. And if you don't even know, if you're just like, I don't even know my guides, because people don't think that everyone can do this, but every single person on the planet is capable of doing this. Every single person on the planet is capable of all sorts of psychic abilities. It's just how blocked we have become in our own experiences and in our own beliefs. And once we clear all that stuff out, everyone is capable of everything. So, so ignore those doubts inside your head that's like, Shh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. So if you're not familiar with your guides, you can be like, hey, guides, hey, ancestors, hey, guardian angels, like I need some help, guys. And I would always say that when you're asking for help, to ask from the highest and best place. So preface everything that you're asking for, like, please help me get such and such. Please help me move through such and such. Whatever it is that you're asking for, give me a Lamborghini. I don't know. In the highest and best way possible. And essentially that bypasses all of our bullshit, because we have limiting beliefs. Guides, ancestors, guardian angels, they all have limiting beliefs. They have bullshit. We have bullshit. So you don't want to ask for something to come to you through that filter of bullshit. You want it to come in the highest and best and easiest way. So an explanation of that is, I need to, we're at the end of the month. So let's say you're at the end of the month and you're like, I don't have enough money to pay next month's rent. So you're going up and you're asking for some abundance to help pay this upcoming month's rent. You may have a belief system that money doesn't come easily, or that you have to suffer for money. So you go out and you get hit by a car. And by getting hit by a car, you get a ton of insurance money. And that helps you pay rent for the next 3 years. Who knows? And you're like, okay, but did I really need to break both of my legs and end up in the hospital for 3 weeks? No. But if you have a belief in there that you have to suffer to receive help, which a lot of us have, we're terrible, terrible, terrible at asking for and receiving help, then you might need to definitely be like, highest and best way, because we're all capable of manifesting abundance and everything that we need. It's just our limiting beliefs that get in the way of these things. So everything that you need, always ask for in the highest and best way. Ask your ancestors, ask your guides, ask your guardian angels, ask creator, ask anybody you want. But this is how you would go on up to seventh plane and ask for those things. Once you're done asking for these things, you say thank you. Asking for these things in the highest and best way. Thank you so much. It is done, it is done, it is done. And then picture it being done. Picture those things coming to you. And then you essentially leave the same way you came. So you just kind of open that door appears into that pink compassion color. You walk out into it, and then you kind of flop into that jelly, that rainbow colored jelly, and then you move back down towards the earth, through the light and the dark, and the light and the dark, and all the way past our moon and into our atmosphere. And then you start to see your home or wherever you're seated coming into view. You move all the way back down, you see yourself, and you move back in through the crown of your head, and you come back into your heart center. And you are done. You can also stay up there in seventh plane, not a problem. But some people find, especially when they start doing this, that the being up there makes them a little dizzy and ungrounded. So if you find that, you definitely want to come back into your body. And yeah, so in this time of year when we celebrate kind of that spirit aspect, the ancestor aspect, it's always great to check in and learn to use them to help us, and to also make sure that they are not helping us in a way that is not in our highest and best interest. So happy Halloween, and I hope you're all enjoying your October. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please share it and hit the subscribe button. And if you're liking what I'm putting out into the world, head on over to my website, holisticmojo.com, for a full list of my services. From energy work to herbal medicine to physiotherapy, I have got you covered. And if you haven't already, get on to Amazon and grab yourself a copy of my book, The Conscious Alcoholic, A Holistic Approach to Drinking. It's going to teach you all about herbal medicine, Ayurveda, and how you can help balance your body while you're drinking and make better choices when you're out and about having a good time.